If you remember well, here on the channel we asked Juve to make from the contract and the salary increase of Kenan Yildiz a priority. And reading the papers of yesterday and today, well, this is what's going on the front pages of Tuttosport and Gazzetta dello Sport. So of course we will speak about it, the importance of Kenan Yildiz, but also to extend, to continue that partnership, that love between the number 10 and the Bianconeri. What is the real value of Juventus? What are the cost of the teams? What are we paying in terms of salary? We discuss about that, but also are Zhegrova and Openda ready for the game, the big game of the 13th of September in our home in the Allianz Stadium against Inter. Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Yesterday I couldn't record, my friend, and today I have a lot of difficulty to record because yesterday they took out a wisdom teeth and it hurt. Yesterday I was totally knocked out, and even today to speak, to articulate is extremely difficult. So that's why I'm asking you a bit of support, a bit of love, with a maximum of like. If you didn't yet, please subscribe to the channel because we go. And before speaking about Kenan Yildiz, let me remind you two things. This evening we go live at 10 p.m. Italian time, 4 p.m. New York, with our friends from Turin Giants. Beautiful debate. We talk Juventus. I can't wait to speak with them about our Calcio Mercato and the upcoming game against Inter. But pay attention if you didn't yet, and that's where I'm asking you. The maximum of support is going and watching the interview with Stefan Lichtsteiner. I'm extremely proud to say that we made it. We made a dream come true. Actually, calling it a dream is a bit too much because it was not even a dream. For me, it was totally impossible on the 1st of January 2020 when I opened the channel to even think about having one player at Juve, of Juve here on the channel. I interviewed, with a lot of players in presence or online, but it was always for the Juve channel, or at least for Juventus official fan clubs, but never I was able to bring one here. And the beauty and the coincidence of life is that I was able to bring you the one that scored the very first goal of the Allianz Stadium. Well, he became the very first person that we brought here, the ex-player of Juve, on the channel. And this makes me extremely proud. I asked him a lot of questions, like, for example, explaining the goal against Siena. I asked him about Pirlo. Was it true that he actually asked or told him, give me the ball if you are in difficulty? We spoke about the finals of Champions League. He gave me also something beautiful. It was my shirt, the shirt of 14-15, that he was able to sign con affetto per Beppe, or per Beppe con affetto Lichtsteiner. Thank you. So if you didn't yet and you want more of these interviews, of course, go back, watch that video with a maximum of support, a like, and also tell me that you watched it thanks to this video here. Tell me, Beppe, I watched it. Now that we spoke about Stefan Lichtsteiner, about what will come up this evening, and we did that intro, let's start with Juve Ti Amo, which is the title of Tuttosport. Juve Ti Amo yesterday, today Gazzetta dello Sport, Juve Vita Mia, Juve I love you, Juve my life, with twice Kenan Yildiz on the front page. What are they speaking about? Well, the contract extension. Yildiz will sign. He is the future. This is how they are telling us. Contract extension from 2029 until 2030 for the Turkish player. He's playing with the number 10 for the Bianconeri, with a big salary increase from 1.5 net. He will increase up to 5 million. Not immediately, but gradually. It could be from a 3 or a 3.5 net to a 4, to a 4.5, to 5. Probably in the meanwhile, if we continue that partnership with Kenan, well, it could be that there will be another contract extension, another salary increase, depending, of course, on the performances of the kid. That's something that we will speak about the future, but these are the details that they will speak with Papa Engin, that will be in La Continassa in these coming days. I tell you, we spoke a lot about Calcio Mercato exit. We spoke a lot about Calcio Mercato entry. We didn't speak a lot about the fact that Juventus, they made one point extremely clear, even if it was not really public and the media didn't speak about it, but Juventus trying to show their strength in keeping the most important players of Juve, the one that they believe will have a future, to rebuild a future, a winning future, a Juve that is there winning titles, because that's what has been said by Scanavino and also repeated by Damien Comolli. We don't know, or we cannot promise you that we will do it immediately this year, but this is the aim, as soon as possible, going and winning titles. So Yildiz, even if there were offers from Liverpool, even if there were offers from Chelsea, totally out of the market, and I think that this is already the biggest possible victory. Look, what is Yildiz? Yildiz is magic. Yildiz is DNA of Juve brand. Yildiz is the Golden Boy, didn't win it, but he won the Italian Golden Boy. He was there in the nominees of Golden Boy fighting against Yamal. He's a future Ballon d'Or nominee. His assists, his goals, his dribbles. He's an example for the kids. He's young. He's international. He's the one that Trezeguet would love to play with. Yildiz is important for Juve. Yildiz is at the moment the one that is giving Juventini hope to believe, to continue to dream, and that's already a huge, big factor why the player that is wearing the number 10 will receive and earn also that contract extension with salary increase. Easy already at the level of Omar Sivori, Michel Platini, Roberto Baggio, Alessandro Del Piero, players that were already wearing that number 10. No, we know it, he's 20, he has his career in front while all the other ones had the career in the back. But can he reach them? Well, only the future will tell. Well, the one thing that I can tell you is that this Kenan Yildiz 25-26 is a total different Kenan Yildiz from 24-25. Where can you see it? About the maturity, about the experience already of one season in Serie A, Champions League, Coppa Italia, Club World Cup, Supercoppa. It's a player that is much more aware. These things we already spoke about it, but if you want to make things simple, go and watch the game against Genoa. The first thing, except of the victory, the beautiful goal of Dusan Vlahovic on an assist of Kostic, the first thing that I noticed into that game was actually seeing Kenan Yildiz, how much he was man-marked by the team of Genoa. It was never a man-on-man, it was multiple people on him. You see, at the 10 minutes immediately, Kenan Yildiz between three players that were forming a triangle to actually avoid the ball going to Kenan. A few minutes later, 5 minutes later, you see Kenan Yildiz carrying that ball. 4 players, if not more, that were already starting to close that circle around him. And then it's not only when he's playing on the left, where he can potentially become dangerous, but it's also when he goes more in the center, ready to take that ball that is in the air, with already double man marking with 2 players on him. There are much more examples, but I couldn't go towards all the game. I think that you understand the importance of Kenan Yildiz in Juventus, but also that the other teams, they already noticed this. Then you will tell me, Beppe, is it correct or not in financial era difficulty to increase the contract of Kenan? Well, if you are looking at the total salaries of the players, gross, you see that the first one is Dusan Vlahovic with 22, Jonathan David that just entered on a free 11 million, Gleison at 9 million, and then you see all the other players with Kenan is quite low. There, I don't know why they put 4.5, because according to my researches, we arrive at 3.5, something like that at the moment, if you are including bonuses and gross salary. So I don't know why they made that calculation, but of course he deserves, for everything that he represents, for everything that he can do to increase, to climb that ranking. The paradox, or actually the strange thing in that ranking, is Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic, that is in his last year of contract, that in the first 2 games of the season was actually a bench player, a decisive one, but still a bench player because he didn't start. That is extremely high and probably out of proportion if you are looking at the team of Juve, but also if you are looking at the entire Serie A. Juventus was able to work really well financially. I will go fast because I know that you don't care that much about the salary and the cost and the finances, but Juventus is not anymore the team with the biggest salary of Serie A, because this has been actually earned by Inter with 141 million euro gross, while Juve is at 123, something like that. But it's also not the team that has the most to pay in terms of value depreciation of the team, because also there Napoli this time, that is the first one, with 134, and Juve 112 million euros. So Juventus was able to do a beautiful work in paying attention to the cost, even if we were able to attract new players, to sign new players, and to sell other players. So Juventus did a beautiful work. It's not enough. We need to continue to work on it, but we don't care. Important is that Juve continue to increase and to pay the players that totally deserve it, and pay attention to the players that do not deserve it. It will be much better, for example, next year when Dusan Vlahovic will leave, because he will be out of contract, saving already 22 million euro, and there are other players that are out of contract, like for example Milik that at today you must not replace. But the most important for Juventini is understanding the value of the team, a value that we can see on transfer market, for example, where Juventus is the second team in terms of value of the team behind Inter, 582 million euro. if you're looking at that, these 582 million euro are influenced by Openda, 50 million value, Bremer, 50 million value, Kenan Yildiz, 50 million value, 45 for Jonathan David, 40 for Kefren Turam, and then you have a Dusan Vlahovic with 35, and that's where we have that strange thing, 35 million euro value for the Serbian number 9, and then you see the salary that he is earning at today. So that's where Juventus can work on increasing the value, the total value of the team. How can you do that? Well, increasing the value of players like Bremer, that is back now as a starter after a year on the J Medical, actually increasing the value of some players like Kefren Turam that could easily go towards a 60 million euro. Is actually hoping that a turn Koopmeiners from the 35 that is now can reach again these 50 million that he was earning or that he was valued when he was at some Atalanta. And Andrea Cambiaso is ready for the next step. So these are the players that can or obliged to increase their value. Guys, I'm really sorry for the way that I'm speaking. It's quite difficult. Why is it important to have the value? Because today, if you are looking at Juve with these 582 million euro, we are actually just above Aston Villa, that is 9th in Premier League, and that's important. Increasing the value of Juve thanks to performances, but thanks also to the games that you are winning, the competitions where you are ending, because if you are ending 4th and you're eliminated in the playoff of Champions League, it's difficult for your team to have that international appeal, to have that international value. Another way of doing it, of course, is making sure that Douglas Luiz is hitting these 15 appearances with his new team. I don't know which is new team. I forgot the new team. Nottingham Forest. Because if he's not hitting the 15, he could possibly go back to Juve, because then the obligation to buy will not be hit. So it's important for Douglas Luiz, for Nico Gonzalez to actually hit what we ask about, so that they go in obligation, they don't come back. Otherwise, it will be another hit for Juve. So super, super important that these players are doing it. What about Openda and Zhegrova? Are they ready? Look, from the latest information that I have, there are absolutely no question for Openda, that already even played a few minutes with Leipzig this season in Bundesliga. But about Zhegrova, well, Zhegrova, from what I heard at Lille, was doing extremely well in training session. He was a beast. He was a monster. He was already called up for the game of Liga. He didn't play. Will he be a starter against Inter? No, forget about it. The guy is not playing since December, but he could already be called up. And he could already partially play the last minutes of the game, maybe 15, maybe 20, maybe 30, let's see. But it is mission Inter to have both players at total disposal of Tudor, with Openda maybe even starting the game, even if it will be difficult with international break, because he's with Belgium. He will play, by the way, today, I believe, if not tomorrow. And then Zhegrova, that stays in La Continassa, to start understanding, to enter the mechanism and the philosophies of Tudor, to understand if yes or no how many minutes you can have against Inter. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.